after yourself. And here she is, the wonderful HPQ. Good morning. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh
It's
gosh, you're bright
Monday
and sparkly this morning.
and it's light. Do you know why I'm bright and sparkly? First of all, good morning to everybody on the Breakfast Flight show. It's the 27th. It's the last Monday of the month. Can't believe
Yeah,
we're moving into February soon.
we
So
are
I'm
in
excited because
February.
it's lighter mornings.
Next week is February. Next week is February.
This week is February, actually. February starts on Saturday, the 1st of February. And I
Oh
know that
wow.
because it's the Spa Weekender this weekender,
Mm.
31st to the 2nd, 31st of January to the 2nd of Feb. All roads lead down to Stratford upon Avon. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, there's still some rooms available. Not many, I might add, but there's some. And there's some dinner and dance tickets for those that don't want to go to the spa. They just want to party like rock stars with the rest of us in your African wear. I'm excited. We got our outfits, haven't we, Sharky
Yeah,
DJ?
we got our outfits. We got that's a nice outfit. We
No,
got a
don't tell
nice
him no
outfit, haven't we?
more. Don't tell
We
him
got
no
a
more.
nice outfit.
We
I'm not gonna
have,
say
we have.
anything. I'm just saying we got a nice outfit.
Yeah, I've been off of Facebook for the whole of January, but I'm going to come back in fine style with the pictures that's going to come out on Saturday. So, the African wear themed dinner and dance on Saturday from I think it's 6:30. I think the drinks reception starts. So I think it's £60 for dinner and dance if you want to come along. If you want to have dinner too, I think it's just £20 if you just want to come just to the dance. There's 4 layers there: spa weekender, dinner and dance, or just dance only. That's three, isn't it? 3 layers there, of which you can come along and join Sharky DJ and myself at the Spa Weekender alongside many people. Now, I was in the middle of saying good morning to everybody on Mixcloud. On Sharky DJ's side, Kimmy Kim, DJ John J.E. Morning, morning. Good morning
There
to
he
our
is, straight out of the
sponsor.
record box.
Straight out the record box. Thank you, Carlos. Good morning, Verona, the lovely Verona, and G-Force, and Spice Nice. And of course, Wolf Michael Fister, who's made a return to HBQ's Mixclouds. I love you, so I do. My number one fan.
I thought I was your number one fan.
Oh, well,
Oh
yeah,
well,
you
I'm number
are.
two
Technically,
now.
technically you don't count. Technically, you don't count. But I was
Oh.
listening to you this morning talking about scaremongering people, talking about
Mm.
another lockdown could be on the cards, talking about this new HMP, HMV,
HMP, H
H
something,
H
something.
something. Something
Yeah,
stands with a H. It sounds dangerous, doesn't it?
yeah,
Hepatitis
yeah,
and all those
yeah.
things come
It's
to mind.
where is it there? H. Oh gosh, I got to get it back up again. Go on, you chat and
H
I'll tell.
something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just wanted to say good morning. We are back today and tomorrow before we go off, and also back next week in February. Now, I'm excited this morning because 7:30 it's daylight. No longer will I have to leave the house to go to work and it's dark. And the night times
HMPV. That's what it is.
HMPV.
HMPV virus, which is
Ah, okay.
which has been running around China for the last few weeks now. It's concerning, as you know, when China get these things, it's not good.
When trying to get lots of things, it's really not good. But how are you, Sharky DJ, this morning? I'm just getting all my bits and
Do you
pieces
know
up whilst
what?
I'm talking to
Like,
you.
I'm just like, as you know, said, body's getting old. My shoulder's been really playing up my arm, and I get to sleep around about 12, 11, 12, and I'm waking up at 2 in the morning from pain, and I have to get up, put on an ice pack, take a ibuprofen or paracetamol to get rid of the pain. When I'm walking around in the day, it's all right, but it's the night time. Just goes up and down my arm. It's almost like something's in my body running up and down my arm, just going, "You're going to sleep now. Forget it."
Oh, bless you, bless you. I hope it does get better very, very soon. But anyway, I've got lots of stuff going on in the news. So much stuff has happened since we finished off the show from Tuesday, stuff I didn't get to talk about up until now. There's all sorts of things going on. But the first thing, and some fun stuff, I've got some videos. Now, I've checked the videos, okay? Number one.
Make
So
sure you do.
I have. I've checked them. I've checked them, but I'm not running them just yet. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about in the news. Obviously, Trump's inauguration, he's been putting some things straight into power. He's been going on and saying, like I said last week, he is going to change the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of Americano. He's getting rid of anything to do with diversity in terms of applying for a job. He wants people to be recruited based on merit. So it doesn't matter that there's an issue with recruitment from ethnic minorities or any other races or anything like that. It's merit. So there's going to be no more programs that will fast track anybody from any kind of race other than white that is going to get a chance. So, of course, I respect Donald Trump in some things, and I also think he needs to understand the issues surrounding other people that haven't got that fair step into the job society.
Mm.
So, those are some things.
Mm. You know what? I've never been one that believes that somebody should get a job based on the color of the
Oh, got a
skin.
slight sniffle.
However, we all know that once he takes this away, it's gonna go back to that. If I don't like you, whatever, you may see things change. But you know what? Let's see what happens because I'm sure people will be watching. What happens in jobs and that, and you may be stirring up few things for the next few years. Somebody's only going to come in 4 years' time and put it back in again, and we'll see. Innit?
I think that the problem is that if everyone was to be recruited based on your merit, then everyone that went to the elite schools will get a job first and foremost because of their education and the education that has been afforded to them and the
Yeah, the
knowledge that
unfair
they have.
advantage.
So they've got a real unfair advantage over people. And then you've got the next set of cohorts of people that have worked really hard, haven't had all the sponsorship and everything, or they've come from middle class families that are still working and trying to afford their schools. And then you've got that lower level where you haven't really got a chance unless someone's willing to give you a chance. And that isn't merit. And sometimes those people are the ones that make the greatest managers or workforces. So basically we're saying if you don't have a decent education, if you are not qualified at all, then you've got no chance of doing anything in America apart from getting into debt for your education. But
Yeah,
I believe in it. I don't think it should be because they're black and there's no black people here. We need to hire black people, and this is the best of the bad bunch. I don't want it to be like that. But I also don't want us to be seen on the sidelines because of the color of our skin. And that's the reason why this whole program was put in the first place, because it wasn't about our merit, it was about the color of our skin. So it swings and roundabouts. Let's hope they do good. Let's hope they do good. We can only cross our fingers, cross our legs, and pray. Lots of people are not crossing their legs at the moment. We spoke about that last week. But
we know that's not going to happen. We know what's going to happen. We know exactly
yeah,
what's going to happen. It's America.
well, they've got Trump in power. They've got a criminal in power. So, and do you know one of the things he did? He actually pardoned the Capitol Hill rioters. He pardoned them all. And one lady actually refused. And she said she was on side with Trump, but she can't defend the fact that what she did was actually wrong and she shouldn't be pardoned for it. How does he get away with it? How can you pardon everybody that took part of a violent incident of which he was then taken to court, of which all these people were charged, and then Trump comes along and pardons everybody, like to say, you know what? It was a good thing you did. You defended me, so therefore you don't deserve all this time in prison. Unlike anybody else that's done these things. But you guys are special.
That's Trump for you. Yeah. With a name like Trump, what do you expect?
Before you put on that track,
Pardon?
just before you put on that track, I'm going to leave you with this one thought.
Mm.
Okay, in other countries, Trump will be called a dictator.
Mm.
In his hometown, America, he is considered what? The pariah? The savior? How does that work?
That's Trump for you. What are you thinking?
Oh, well, I'm thinking, first of all, Willow has come to join me for the first
Yeah, I
time this year. She's
noticed.
jumped off now. She's not loving me at the moment. My son's come along and she's just all over him because he gives her the best strokes. Right? So she seems to love him a little bit more than me at the moment. So I'm not getting a look in these days. Just at night time, she might come and bring herself next to me. But yeah, that's Willow for you. Now, we were just talking about Trump just before we were started to play some music. Now, as I said to you, in other countries, he would be considered a dictator. All right, this is what I want, this is what I'm getting, and this is what I'm implementing, and it's done. That's it. And I don't know what's more frightening, Trump being the president, dictator, or Elon Musk as his right hand man right next to him, helping him command one of the world's biggest superpowers. Now, Elon Musk, this is nothing against anybody who has any kind of mental health issues, but they say that Elon Musk is on the spectrum. He has autism or Asperger's, one of the two. And he takes drugs, right? And not just any kind of drugs. He likes to take the horse tranquilizer, as we could say. So, you've got autism backed up with a whole load of illegal drugs, which he has openly said. And he's second in command, running one of the world's biggest superpowers. Now, Elon Musk is seriously intelligent, above all of our streams, I would say. And that's probably a positive note of having Asperger's or autism. There are ways in which you actually excel at certain things. And obviously he's designed the Tesla. He's got satellites up in space. So he's got a mind of someone who is unbelievably so intelligent. But what comes with so much intelligence and power is chaos. Absolute utter chaos. And I believe that he can do things in order to maybe improve the world, but too much power, too much money. And with Trump, I dread to think what could happen. Now I'm trying to think positively with Trump in power, with some of the things and policies he's putting in place and taking out things that make no sense, such as this. I don't know if I played this last week, but we've had some policies that have been introduced over the years, especially with genders. Now, I used to do Gender Watch for last year. I did
You
that
used to
for,
call it the agenda. The
yeah,
agenda.
the agenda.
The agenda. Yeah.
I used to call it the agenda because I was just so absolutely just dumbfounded by some of the things that we were expected to do. But I'm getting used to the pronouns. I'm using they and them, and I'm realizing. And
He and they.
yeah, the funny thing is, I
It.
was at work. I was at work the other day, and there's this lady. Now you could tell that she is a woman, and she's definitely gay. She dresses like the female kind of typical look.
Male.
Yeah,
Female
that
male
kind.
look. The
Yeah,
male
that
female
female
look.
male look.
Shaved head
And
and all that.
but absolutely lovely, lovely lady. And I was talking to her, and I was referring to her as she. And I realised afterwards that I did that, and kind of like rolled back my chair because she was sitting behind me. And I said, "Look, I don't mean to offend you. I'm calling you she, and I don't know what you like to be referred to by. It could be just she. It could be anything else. Could you tell me so I make sure that I address you in the right way in the future? 'Cause I don't want no managers coming up to me and say that someone's complained about the way that you've spoken to them." So I got that in there. She said, "No, no, no. Everyone says it. I'm fine with that. I'm not part of this woke school, so I'm all right." I was like, "Yes, great
I
stuff."
like people like that. I
Yeah.
like people like that. They're the realists. They are absolute
People will
realists.
get it wrong, and they're not. I'm not offending her on
Mm.
purpose. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
yeah, she.
Mm.
That's different.
Yeah, but
That
she's
is,
real, isn't it?
she is, and she's actually really, really a nice woman. I really
Mm.
like her. But
And
anyway, we were talking about Trump and some of the things he's introduced, and we were talking about gender policies. Have a listen to this. I'm hoping it's the right video.
There are only two genders, male and female. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
There you go. So Donald Trump has said it.
wow.
He's only recognizing two genders. And it's true. It doesn't matter what you want to identify as. That's fine. You want to identify as a branch or a tree? Go for it. But you have a specific agenda that was assigned to you at birth, which is male or
Or
female.
female,
And
yeah.
that's the only two that they can recognize. You can't
Now,
say
you know what?
I'm
I'll tell you what, some people are going to love him for that.
I love him for that. I
I'll
absolutely
tell
love
you
him for
what.
that.
But you know what? I mean, like I said, it's, I think everybody should be able to have their choice on what they think, on their thoughts. People should be allowed to have their thoughts. You can't have a law where people are saying, you know, you can't say this, you can't do that, as long as it's not offending people. I mean, in terms of being insulting. But if I feel to myself there's two genders and that's it, why should that right be taken away from me? I'm sorry. It should not be taken away from me. Okay? If I think that there's just male and female, I shouldn't be forced to think that there's this and that and this and that and whatever. If I see you as a male, you're a man. If I see you as a woman, you're a woman. It's as simple as that.
But
How you want to identify yourself is...
Yeah. The crux of it, which should hold its day in court but often doesn't, is that there are only two genders. There are only two genders. There's no more, right?
There's
There's
not a
only
third
male
one.
and female. There isn't. And even if you are formerly known as a hermaphrodite, which is now known as intersex, and you have male genitalia and female genitalia, right? You are still there's no third one. You are either become male or female. They see which one is the dominant genes, either your male genes or your female genes or chromosomes or whatever it is, and that's the sex that you become. But you are not. There's no third one. There's no third one. So
Yeah.
I don't know where the rest are going. We're trying to say they don't identify with male or female, and that's different. On your passport, you're male or female. On your driver's license, you're male or
Yep.
female. And on your in documents, how you want to be introduced, you could be a giraffe for all I care. But you are male or
Or
female.
female.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How you want to be introduced, what your salutations want to be, that's up to you.
But you know what's going to be interesting for me? All these people that voted for Trump and he's come out with that. Imagine all these, people, they and them turned around and voted for him. And now he's turned around and said this. It is going to be, it's going to be something, isn't it?
And even the language is confusing. When you say they, them, this, we're not even referring to anybody specific. It seems like a whole bunch of people when it's just one person. They
Exactly.
is plural. We learnt this in English. Basic English comprehension told us that they is plural. So we
Yeah.
got to talk about one person as many. Well, maybe
Yeah,
that's what it is.
absolutely.
Maybe that's what it is. They are many things. I'm a boy. I'm a girl. I'm a cat. I'm a dog. I like this. I like jam. I don't. I change my mind next week. Yeah.
Oh dear. It's quite. This is quite a very interesting topic, and I'm sure some people may be listening thinking, I don't like that, and first thing is right, we're gonna get you sorted out for whatever reason. But you know what? People should have the rights to think what they want. That they should have their own mind.
People should be able to be afforded their opinions, as you said,
Yeah,
so long as you're
their
not
own
insulting
opinions.
anybody. And this is my opinion. I'm telling you straight, my opinion, straight down the line. It's not been any different from when it started. Male, yeah, male and female. Two only. Period. I'm out.
HPQ has spoken.
Yes. And as we're still on the information about Trump, now, what did Elon Musk do at the inauguration last week, or one of the speeches that Trump was at? Now, he made a display which people consider it to be what? A Nazi salute. It was all in the papers last week that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute from the inauguration. Now, he hit back on Twitter thinking, oh, come on, this story's really old, stop it. But it does look a lot like the Nazi salute. What do you think? Do you think he did it? Did you read the article, or did you read the news about him coming up and doing that?
I actually didn't read it, but I did listen to some of the comments that have been made. And yes, he did do a Nazi salute. You don't do that. Come on. Yeah. But this man is so powerful, but nothing is being done about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's been done about it at all. Now imagine if that was, a black person turned around and went,
Oh,
would that
on,
be
they
acceptable?
They made noise about them doing the Black Power salute. What was that famous basketball player or football player that got
Kobe Was it? Yeah, the one with the afro. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Correct. Him, he
Yeah.
got taken out of the sport because of the
Yeah,
fact that he did the Black Power salute. Now,
and stood on the one knee. Mm.
and stood on one knee. Now, Musk apparently he slapped his right hand on his
Yeah,
chest
he went
before
like this.
shooting his arm diagonally upwards, palm
He,
facing down, and he did it twice.
he went like this.
Now, the website of the Anti-Defamation League, which campaigns against anti-Semitism, defines the Nazi salute as raising an outstretched arm with the palm down, and it ranks as one of the most common white supremacist hand signs in the world. It's
There you go.
recognized. And, but apparently, after his, what they're calling a stiff arm salute, they're calling it, his team are calling it an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute.
Come on.
Yeah, we know.
Everybody knows, and you know the sad thing about it is that he will get away with it. That's the reality. The reality is that this man will get away with it. He will.
And he is getting away with it because it was in the news and nothing more has been said. That has shut down the story. Now, very quickly moving swiftly ahead with the next bit. Talking about shutdown. We've had a number of key old school names that we are familiar with that have been shutting down over the years. Woolworths, Alders, Grants. What else has gone? BHS. All the good greats. And the next one on the list is W.H. Smith. Now, they've got 500 branches within the UK. I noticed the one at Wolverhampton train station had closed down. I'm thinking, what's going on there?
Has it closed down?
Yeah, the one in Wolverhampton
wow.
train station has gone. Packed up, stuff gone. It's gone. It's not even there. No sign, nothing, nada. It's just like, we weren't here. And, yeah, they are selling all of their stores in a bid to raise some cash. They're in trouble. They're going to sell off the coveted, wonderful W.H. Smith. I do miss the pick and mix at Woolworths. It's not the same anywhere else. It's expensive. You get all these things in the market with these sweets that are coated in sugar. Heart attack, diabetes, ready central. But I miss those sweets. I really do. The pound shop do some. It's not the same. But W.H. Smith, where are you going to get your pens from, man? Well, I want to go get an ink pen quickly. I'll go to W.H. Smith and a book or a pad, some magazines, games. I'm heartbroken.
Oh dear. It's what they call life, you know. It's life. It's come to an end for some, unfortunately, but I'm sure there's some other store chain that's going to open up, some modern store chain that's going to open up and last for the next 10, 20 years and then close down, and the youngsters will be like, we'll be in the grave by then. Youngsters will be like, those...
It's a high street.
Exactly.
It's the death of the high street. I'm telling you, it's just high streets are bombarded by expensive coffee shops. Go in for a £3.50 coffee anytime. Yeah, go ahead. Do that. But the shops are in decline and the service in shops is not the same. I walked into Henny's the other day. I was taking something back in a shop in the Works, one of my little stationery shops. And I see Henny's 70% sale. That drew me in. I was just like walking in there without even giving it a second thought. And trying to find someone on the floor is like finding a needle in a haystack. You just can't find a worker in there anymore. They're scarce. It's like one person per floor, one at the till, and that's it. That is it. 4 staff in the whole 2-floor shop. So the experience is awful. The queues are long. You don't get no one to help you. You have to sift through racks. People have tried it on with makeup on it. You often can't get your size, and you got to pay to drive your car to get into somewhere to park, and you pay. So of course online makes sense. It just makes sense all the way. And even when you return and you haven't got to go back and queue up and find a receipt that you can never find, can't get returned unless you've got a receipt and you've got this argument. Online is the way forward. It's recorded there. All the way shopping. That's what I tried on Saturday. Thought I'll try the shop experience again. It didn't work for me anymore. I'm not going. I'm done. High Street's going to die.
Well, there's a message for you in the chat, HPQ. I ain't going to say
First
nothing.
lady says you'll get your stationery from your work. No, I won't. They don't. The stationery cupboard is gone. It's gone. I don't even have. I used to have a stationery cupboard and ordering rights. I had the key to the stationery cupboard. I was king. When you got the key to the stationery cupboard, you are king. I was king. But there's no stationery cupboards.
King. Hold on. King or queen?
Come on, I'm not into that. I don't care. I was king. I was king. And even in my last workplace, you had a stationery fund. Like you were given an amount so that you could order stationery with, and that's it. Once you exceeded no more, and I think it was £150, but that only went to perm staff. So even though umbrella company considered as perm staff, I'm still not perm staff. It's a con. It's just a con.
Oh dear, HPQ, you're getting that reputation of that pen thief, you know.
Listen.
I know you're a pen thief. The man himself, and get the prizes there and send them off. I haven't forgotten. So,
do you know that song reminds me? I thought you would. You saw me jumping up when you first played that song. I thought you was gonna play. It was effects. The DARS effects. It was effects. I was just getting ready to start jumping and shaking my head.
And I not that version.
Do you remember the DARS? I think they used to shake their head. I was like, I don't know. They did something. I was ready and bouncing to go with this R&B one. Never mind. Never mind. Now, G4.
We're in a world of refixes, isn't it?
Listen, too much refixes.
There's too many, aren't they? There's too many.
Another subject, another day. But G4 says food shops are doing fine on the high street. They are. Everyone needs to eat. Everyone's being pushed, right, dragged back into the workplace. So of course the high streets and the little businesses and the pret-a-mangers are doing really, really well in sandwich sales. These rip-off sandwiches, £6, £5 for a sandwich. A loaf of bread. Well, I'd argue about the price of a loaf of bread now, but a loaf of bread. Right, and a packet of ham or a packet of cheese and some salad. You can buy all of that for less than £5 and make your own sandwiches. But don't be lazy, people, and stop spending money. As I said to my people on the coach weekend, bring your travel mug. So when you go into those coffee shops, put coffee and milk and everything in it. Go to the coffee shop, fill up with the hot water, and you've got your coffee for not £3.50, but for 0 pence. Right, start using your travel cups. Now, another tip I've got for you very quickly before I move on to my next subject. Now, I'm a Team U fan. I've been ordering up a storm at Team U this week to sort out a few bits and pieces. And I discovered a nifty trick that I didn't know before. Now, we know that, you know, smaller items, if you said there's something wrong with it, they don't normally accept the returns because it's too far for too little money. But they have on your orders something called price adjustment, which means if the price of that item has fallen in between the time that you ordered and paid for it, they will adjust the price and give you back a refund. And I did that for one, and then I realised I could go back and price adjust on all of the orders I did, and I got back a cool nearly £10 in price adjustments. And they automatically credit you back, but they don't credit back in money. It goes into your Team U account. So I've got a gift card balance of £40 odd at the moment just through doing price adjustments going. If it's been delivered, by the way, it doesn't count. So long as you order, and in between the order, if the price drops, they will give you back the money, which I think is really, really good. Really good.
Sounds, yeah. I mean, if you can make the money back, it's brilliant. If you can get some money back, the more money you get back, the better.
I'm telling you, I ordered a box of chocolates from Amazon. Right, they were doing a great deal. They said I paid for an 680 gram box. They sent me a 550 gram box, but the sticker says 680. Phoned up Amazon. What's this? I want to send it back, and they said this is not accepting no returns. Ring up Amazon. Don't worry about it. We'll credit you back the whole amount. And you can keep the item. I was like, well,
there
job's
you go.
Done. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Can't go wrong with that one, can you?
There you go. But I suppose when you're a good customer, you order all the time. They might, like to do these things for you.
Good morning, Juicy. How are you? What she says now. Diaz effect. Yes. And she's a pen thief as well. Stationary thief.
I love that. I am a pen thief, definitely. And I thought it was DARS Effects, Juicy. I was getting ready for that. Could you play that, please? I do like that. Okay. I'm in the mood for some DARS Effects now. I would like that. But just very quickly, before we go into a track, we were talking about, I said you were scaremongering with the toilet rolls, and you saying that this HPV, whatever it was. Don't tell me.
HMPV. HMPV. That's the new COVID virus going around. HMPV.
PV.
Yeah,
Alright,
guys, get used to it, man, because you're going to be you've been saying
sounds like
COVID.
you need to go to the clinic. As opposed
It does,
to,
isn't it? It does.
It does. HMPV. I've got HMPV.
Yeah.
I
Watch
shouldn't
it
laugh,
out.
but it does sound like you need to go to the clinic.
It does, yeah.
But anyway, very, very quickly before you play a track, Sharky, Waitrose, right? Well, the customers were in uproar. Shrinkflation at its finest. Because the Essentials toilet roll that Waitrose used to do £5 for 9 toilet rolls, they decided to shrink it from 240 papers on the roll to 190. The customers went absolutely crazy. As you can see, there's a massive difference in the roll sizes. And they took to the reviews and went all out until Waitrose backed down and went back to the original size toilet rolls, which is what they said they're bringing back in January. The power of the customer. I'm telling you now, people, complain enough and things can actually change. Don't sit there on the fence and say, I'm complaining, I don't like this, that, and the other. Write in, send feedback and review. It does work. The customers came out in their droves. Albeit the toilet roll had been reduced down to £4 from £5, but they didn't want the smaller toilet roll. People are going toilet for longer. It's all the vegetables we're eating. It's a lot to clean up.
Oh, gosh. I'll tell you what. Do you know what? Let me bang a tune. I can keep mentioning it. So if you guys want straight out of the record box tops, hoodies, yeah, black owned, definitely check us out and we will put you in touch with the right person.
Yeah. Now, First Lady says, I've only just discovered that. Yes, I have. Can we start having some conversations on these little tips on Team U? I thought I was discovering something new. Yes, I've only just discovered it. Imagine that. Imagine all these items I've ordered. I've only just discovered price adjustment. I'm a bit long and slow sometimes, but when I catch up, and I'm catching up. I'm seriously catching up. I just learned a trick to put loads of items in my basket, and then when Team U decides to do all these, you've got a 90% discount. You can get this for £1. I know it's one of the items that I'm saving to get for 1 pence instead of paying like £9. It's such a shame. It's not like we ain't got like £5 to pay for something, but it's the like, I got it for £1.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. But I found so many handy things on Team U. It's not funny. It's absolutely brilliant for a few bits and pieces that you want to kind of space save in your home and, get things out of the way. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, there's a lot of good items, but I've been resisting Team U on purpose. I've been resisting it because me, once I start, that's it. Order. Before you know it, good couple £100 of gadgets are sitting down in the corner. And that's it. But the gadget that you bought me that I love, is my TikTok ring. I love that. Guys, you got to get a TikTok ring. Especially if you like scrolling in bed and just put your phone down and you don't want to touch it. The TikTok ring, tick, 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 tick. Very good indeed.
Yeah, it's just like a little remote control on your finger, and you just instead of just swiping, this finger gets so many pins and needles, This finger gives my arm pins and needles through the swiping, the constant swipe. And then when you're lying in bed and your arm gets tired and you put your phone up on the stand and you're still swiping, well, you get one of these rings on your finger and all you're doing is this.
Tick, tick,
your thumb or your finger.
Yeah, I just do it like that. You put the ring, the remote is right here, you just tick, 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 and it goes up, back and forward. If you want to listen to music, turn the volume up and down from your ring, just, or if you've got your phone in your pocket and you're just traveling, you want to go to the next track, you got your TikTok ring, just walk with it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wicked.
You can do it with your phone, you can do it with your phone or your headsets. You can move forward to the next track. Or you've got the TikTok ring now. So much technology. You don't have to move now. Maybe if you blink, it's going to get to the point if you blink, it'll just move to the next track, or you move your eyes in some way, the screen will actually move.
I got it for Christmas. I thought, what's this? What am I going to be doing with this? And I was like, sat there, But she did say, you're going to like this. And I am a gadget person. And then one day I was lying down and I was like, oh, where's that ring? Let's see. I started using it, and now I'm like, if I lose it, I'll be like, I need to get another one.
Yeah, where's this ring? Need to get a backup. That's what we do with it.
Yeah.
I've got to have a backup just in case that one goes down because we can't do without it. Now, I
Now, guys,
realised
just a quick before you go, which one are you going to prefer? The TikTok ring or the ring? Which one? Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, very quickly, before you go into the news, I want to leave you guys with a little dilemma here. In fact, it's what the government is going with at the moment. They're calling for bans on first cousin marriages. And your first cousin is obviously your brothers and sisters' children, isn't it? And that's when you become first cousins, right? They want
No,
a ban on
it's your mum's your mum's brothers, children or sisters, your mother or father's brothers and children, yeah. So your first cousin.
Work it out for us.
Yeah. So if you got your, like, for instance, my mother and her brother, their children is my first cousin, yeah.
Correct. Yes, you got that right. So the government is calling for a ban on first marriages because of the issues with children having disabilities afterwards. Obviously, they're trying to save on the cash-strapped NHS. They're trying to ease the burden. They're trying to find many ways. First of all, they're bringing in this diet drug to get people to lose weight so that the issues with weight-issued illnesses, they can stop having a major effect on the NHS. And the other one is first cousin marriages that result in children. They want a complete ban. And this practice is very big in the Asian communities. And one of the people was saying, I know it's the time, by the way, one of the people was saying they're defending it by saying, you know, some children have a disability, some don't. We think it's fine and we're happy with it. Are you happy with it? Is it right? Could you marry your first cousin?
Listen, they need to tell that to the royal family. They need
Very
to
true.
tell that to the royal family.
Very true. But would you marry your first cousin? Maybe that's a dilemma I'll leave you with.
No.
It's 8:59.
No.
We'll be back.
No. I love my first cousins dearly. But would I marry one? Do you know, if there was no genetics, then maybe because they're so lovely. But what about you?
Oh, I don't know about relaxation because there's things that, as part of the team, we've got to be running around a little
Well,
bit.
you can do all the running around, you know.
Yeah,
Once I do my salsa thing, I'm gone.
I hope that I think I'm going to have to wake up early this Saturday morning and get myself into the spa and just stay there till the afternoon before I start running around and doing bits and pieces. But I aim to do a little bit of relaxation, gameplay. On Friday night, we've got some games that we're going to be playing. Maybe a bit of salsa or line dancing if people are up for it after a coach journey and being at the bar of all things. But I'm only here till 9:30, as you know, on a Monday, and I'm keen to show a few videos. Clean videos, people. I was mortified last week. I really was. I hung my head in shame, got my hands slapped, everything. I could not believe it. I didn't even, even when I was editing the show to put up on YouTube, I was just like, let me make sure I delete that whole entire segment. I just don't even want any of it on there. Just don't want it on there. But I've got 2 videos to show before I leave today. I'm going to save a couple for tomorrow. I've got some interesting chat for tomorrow, people. So make sure you tune in nice and live and early. Got some debates and some videos. But for now, and this one goes out to the ladies. Now, ladies, as you know, our bodies are complex systems. So are our emotions, as males would say. And with that, we have to have these yearly intrusions into our body, or 5 yearly intrusions, depending on your age and whatever you're going through. And they are known as those smear tests, right? And every lady knows what you go through in a smear test. Now, one lady has put a video together to show you men what it is like when we go through a smear test. Ladies, let me know if you agree with this. Men, this is what we go through in a video. Don't worry, Sharky, don't worry.
Do you know what's so funny? It's the Amazon packet. Oh my
Recreating
gosh.
the lining. But that is
Yeah.
I used to hate them when they used to have, and ladies, you'll know this, when they used to have the metal stirrup clamps and it used to be cold. It used to be like, could you warm it up, please? And they'll either be rubbing their hands on it or doing this. Imagine, I know, don't. They used to breathe on it, rub their hands on it, and then they're inserting it inside of you. Don't. Now, when you think about it, it's just weird how we just allowed those things to happen. But they would be metal and cold, and it's like, you know, when a shoe stretcher, that's how I can put it akin to. You know, the shoe, you put it in the shoe and then you push it out so it stretches or it widens. That's what it's like, these things. And then it twists. It used to twist. And you'd hear it twisting so it'd open up wider. And then they'd put all sorts of things in there to just disturb you and not make you feel good. And it was always like, relax. No, I couldn't. Carlos is laughing. Yes, that's what we go through.
I'm so glad I'm not a woman. I'm just glad that I a woman.
I'm telling you, Lady AJ says so true. It is true. That. Oh, listen, that long tube thing, they roll it around the inside like it's okay, like it doesn't hurt. And the worst ones is the ones that are angry that come to give you a smear test. There was one time I went. I went, and they could not get. Lady AJ says it's like they're digging for black oil. Listen, there was one time I went and he put the clamps in and he couldn't get the clamp to fit in properly. And he was twisting and turning and pulling it in and pushing it back. I was like, listen, you got to stop this. Just try and do the one time. This in and out, moving around, it's not working for me right now. Oh my
nothing but jokes.
gosh.
Nothing
I'm
but
telling you,
jokes.
Miss Sugar Sweet says, Lord, can't even get one now because I'm over 50. You should be able to. I thought they should. How are they going to investigate? Is it just going to be with the hands, the black gloves? And
Oh dear. Do you know what? That's actually quite actually it does look kind of concerning actually with the way the clamps went and then turning.
listen, when it turned around, it's like Star Trek, isn't it? And they were checking the angle, we're looking right up in there, you know.
It's the way
if
that
they
the
could get
face-
their head up there, they probably would, you know.
It's the way that the face comes underneath, you know that.
Oh, I'm not going to forget that. I'm going to go to my next meeting just thinking about this, you know. So, sorry.
You know.
Lord,
Should I play a
quick
track?
Yeah. But I'm out of here at past.
Don't worry, make it quick one.
Regulators.
Oh, don't. Listen, I found some news the other day that was quite sad. Remember the boys? I can't remember if I spoke about this last week or not, but the boys that died in the fire, the two sets of twins in South London. The woman left them alone in the house to go to
yeah.
the shops, and when she came back, the fire had burnt down the house and killed the two sets of twins. Very, very sad indeed. Reports last week on the 27th or 24th of January said that the woman's now been jailed for 10 years for the manslaughter of her sons who died in that house. 10 years. 4-year-olds, Kyson, Bryson, Leighton and Logan Hoth. They were 3 years. 4-year-old. Oh, sorry, the other twins were 3 and the other were 4-year-olds. And they were unescaped. They couldn't escape the locked house and were found underneath the bed. Can you believe that? That was just absolutely horrifying to hear this story. But hearing the news and reading back on the details, especially when I'm reading about this Southport killer that's been jailed for 52 years as well, they're saying that the family was living in a house with rubbish all over the floor and human excrement, that she'd been reported to social services, that she had asked 3 times, especially I think the Christmas before, for help to say that she wasn't coping. You can imagine a young person, right? 2 sets of twins, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds. You're on your own. Who knows where the father was? And he's saying he's devastated about his twins, but the house was in a mess and full of excrement. the grandparents? Who intervened? Who knew what was going on? Why didn't social services intervene? What happened? And the whole trail is a nightmare. But to jail her for 10 years, yes, she did something wrong. Yes, she had mental health issues. Yes, she was under social services. Where were all these agencies involved in these children? Right. And sometimes I feel like it's not just the parents. Right. If it's just the fact that you wanted to go out or you're doing anything, you just wanted to meet your friends. Yes. But combined with issues that you've flagged and you've tried to get help and no one wants to help you, what happens? And you're on your own. What do you do? Now, we don't know the reasons to why she went to the shop. That's not been revealed whatsoever. They haven't come out in the reports. But I am devastated about this. I'm devastated that she's been jailed for 10 years, but I don't know the backstory. I don't know all the details to say whether I think she shouldn't have been jailed. Does she need help? And that's the issue in this country right now. Even with the killer of the Southport killers, he was known to the mental health services. He was flagged up in school for being known for terrorist activities. His parents used to have trouble with him at home. He was known to buy knives. All of this was known by police, the social services, the authorities and schools. Yet every step of the way, people are not involved. He was taking medication up until 2023 until he stopped going to social services. They said they made many attempts to get him back. Many attempts how? You wrote a letter. Maybe you phoned up. But this care in the community that Maggie Thatcher brought in has left us with victims. That's the problem. We now have victims as a result of care in the community. Some people should be taken off the street, not prison. Prison is not helping them when you've got a mental health problem. You need help and rehabilitation also. And that is a step 2 away from prison.
Do you know, I mean, I was thinking the same thing with the girl for 10 years. I mean, if she had, let's say, for instance, gone to the shop, we don't know the backstory, but if she'd gone to, say, to the shop to get food or to get necessities, and this has had happened to her, I don't think she should be put in prison. Maybe given some, because she's suffered enough losing the kids, especially if she's reported it and said she's not coping financially. You know, the father's disappeared. You know, I really do think that the government do need to look for fathers of these children. They can't just leave the mothers to cope by themselves and think, okay, let me go and start another family. Let me go and impregnate some other. You know, they should be held to responsibility. And for me, fathers, should be taken to court if the mothers can't cope due to no support or whatever it is. They need to be held responsible as well. I'm sorry, I can't just blame the mother on that. You know, it takes 2 to make babies. It takes 2 to make babies. Yeah, not just one. You know, why should the father should just be able to just come in, do his thing, go, leave the woman by himself, and not take the responsibility?
I second that entirely. I always say that, and I really hate this old age analogy of men saying she wouldn't let me see him. Well, there's things called courts, and there's things called 2 legs, 2 arms, paper and pens and phones and applications that you make to force people to see your child. If you really want to see your child, you make an effort to see your child, because you've got to explain to your child why you wasn't there. And you can't give that excuse that they wouldn't let me. And in some cases that happens. It definitely happens. A woman has that control. Yes, I agree. But there's other steps that you can take. And if you haven't taken and haven't exhausted those steps, you can't say that I tried to do my best, because clearly you didn't. But that's the explanation that you've got with your child. But coming back to this woman, the man wasn't there. We don't know. I don't know the backstory, so I'm not going to blame and say the man wasn't there, he didn't turn up, and he should be to blame. Those circumstances are actually unknown. But I do feel it for her. I feel like she should have been getting more help. 2 sets of twins to try and... You know what it's like getting one child dressed to go to a shop, and he's having a tantrum and dragging himself on the floor. There's 4 of them to try and do that with. And everybody in their lifetime who's been a mother, or the scandalous ones like myself, have popped to the shops at one point in their life and had their child at home. Me, personally, mine was 1 minute away, and I ran. I didn't feel good about it, but it was necessary. But I don't know. I don't know. But it's in those necessary times that things happen. That's the dangerous thing about it, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But it's hard. It's hard.
It's difficult. I mean, my mum's gone out shopping left me in the house. I remember being left in the house, and I'm sure many of us in the past have been left in the house, and our parents leave strict
As young
rules.
children.
But the other thing that you got to remember with a lot of, especially the youngsters growing up now, I mean, we had a system of support growing up with our parents, our grandparents. A lot of the youngsters, I mean, how old was this young lady? I mean, do you know what her age was?
I need to find out. I
But,
don't
you know,
remember.
what was her support
30.
before?
She
Yeah,
was
so,
30.
you know, what was her relationship like with her parents? Because if she had left home and the parents, you know, she hadn't been brought up with good parenting and family skills, yeah, it could have a knock-on effect to the next generation. And this is where it's very important to have that structure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to delve into the facts about her family. I mean, the family is saying justice has been hailed, and I can't believe the family are not behind it. There's more than this that meets the eye. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
there
known
may
to
be.
social services. It looks like she didn't have a family around her, and if the family haven't been around her, they can't really just point all the fingers at her. Did they not think that it would be hard for one person to cope with 4 children? I mean, people in marriages can't cope, let alone being young
But you know
with a
what?
mental health issue.
It could be the fact that she stopped the children from seeing the family. It could be that as well. Because there are cases where, you know, families, you know, I know cases of where mothers, you know, a grandparent want to see their grandchild and the mother won't let it happen, you know. And I know active cases like that now. So it could be a case of that. And, you know, we just don't know. But it'd be very interesting to find out.
Yeah, and she had struggled with her health. It was known. She struggled. It was in the court documentation that she struggled. Now, they said that she went to Sainsbury's and they said none of it was essential or vital. We don't know what she shot for. We don't know if it's the media saying that. Whether it's them saying it was non-essential or vital, we don't know. We don't know the contents of what she got. Maybe it could have just been for alcohol and cigarettes.
Yeah, well, if it's that, but, you know, some people need it to de-stress. Not that I agree with it, but
To
hey.
cope, just to cope. You know, me with my one son couldn't cope. 4 children, 4. But I'm not saying it's an excuse. Please, Mixclouders, do not think that for 1 minute I'm putting her having 4 kids, because other people have coped quite well and brought up their children and no issues. But a combination of factors are here with this young lady. We don't know her mental well-being. We don't know her mental age. We don't know the care or support system that was around her or not. So it's hard. It's hard, and it's really sad. My condolences to everyone all around her. I don't think anybody is a winner in this situation. Nobody.
Because HPQ has got to go.
I do got to go, and I want to run a quick video, and I want to talk about this very quickly. Apparently, social services were very aware, and when they've come into the house, they've seen 20-centimetre rubbish and buckets of excrement around the house. There was also a mattress propped up by the door, which hampered the efforts to get out of the property. They say the fire was started by either a lit tea light or a discarded cigarette. Fire alarms essentially were not fitted in the property. The landlord told the police this was because he believed he was under no obligation to have them installed.
Well, if you're renting place, you have to have fire alarms. You are supposed to have fire alarms in there, fire detectors in there, or smoke detectors.
Yep. A health visitor from Sutton Council visited the family on 5 occasions between November 2018 and January the 20th. She expressed similar concerns about the state of the home and said that Rose was still having some difficulties in notes from a final visit. The health visitor retired shortly before the final visit, recommended follow-ups, none followed. Right? The missed opportunities of these tragedies have sparked alarm over the present state of children's services and prompted calls for the government and councils to boost investment into early intervention schemes, such as the case of the young boy with the Southport murders. There have been so many missed opportunities there, it's unbelievable. Now, it's time for me to run. I'll let Sharky carry on with this track. But as I like to do, I like to end this session on something light. Yes, Spice Nice, the landlord should be charged or given a fine. I'll let Sharky carry on with the chat on this one. But something I watched the other day that's going to bring joy to everybody's hearts and joy to the ladies here. The name is Aaron Pierre Musafa. And apparently there's a dance. And I want Sharky to do this dance. And we're going to video it as well as me buying the goat's balls. I haven't forgotten. We want our men to video and do this dance. I want to see you come through the door doing this dance. Please.
Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. What? Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Get it, Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Get it, Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Get it, Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Go, Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa.
Thank you.
I thought she was going to send some complicated dance, you know, but just, Pierre, Sharky DJ, he's gonna, bam, Sharky DJ, he's gonna, whoa.